Alright guys, welcome to another video. Today we got a weird one. Today I'm going to be talking about my strategy guides. Strategy guides, collecting strategy guides, I guess it's pretty niche. Not a lot of people are into them, at least that I know of. I'm not saying, no one is, but I'm really into strategy guides. I love strategy guides for a couple of reasons. I love the artwork inside of them. I love referencing them instead of going online if I get stuck or need help or anything. I have no issue looking things up if I'm lost. If I've given it enough time where I'm like, man, it bested me. I'm okay with looking it up because I don't got all the time in the world, and I know some people find the exploration, puzzle solving to be the really fun part of the game, and it can be, but sometimes it gets a little frustrating. And I'm mainly talking about these older games, NES games and stuff. Sorry if you hear the rain hit my air conditioner. It is raining and there's nothing I can do about it. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to be showing each strategy guide, and I'll be flipping through some pages then. I'll keep it early pages, no spoilers and stuff, but we're just going to go ahead and start. They kind of get better as we go. The weak ones are kind of on top. I'm actually going to start with one of the weakest ones. This is Summoner. I only buy strategy guides for games that I own, with a few exceptions. So if I own the game and I see the strategy guide, I try and pick it up, and trust me, Summoner was a cheap one, as it should be, because that game is not good. Got Siphon Filter 2. Why not? Again, my local game store usually has a buy one, get one free on strategy guides, and they're always really cheap. So I try and take advantage of those. We're gonna do a one here that I got way long ago at like a Goodwill. That is Diablo 2, the Ultimate Strategy Guide. Diablo 2 is actually a game I did really like as a kid. Had it on PC, of course, and yeah, I used this guide sometimes. Not too much, but it's still pretty cool to have. I got it with the game for like $5, the game and the strategy guide. So, didn't even have a really good computer, but was able to play Diablo because you don't need much. Here's a good one. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. This is so big that like stuff like that happens. It sucks. I try and keep it on the bottom, but it doesn't really seem to help. But I used this a crap ton, and I don't mind. My Pokemon ones that I ever had were probably the most used. The Pokedex in the back, trying to figure out what route to catch the Pokemon on, things like that. It was, I mean, that was why I wanted them. Not how to get where or what it was. Where are, like, give me the Pokedex in the back, and I want to look at what route to get Pokemon on. Here's Mario Odyssey. I asked for this for Christmas. I was a bit older at the time, so I was like, you know what, my mom, bless her, love her to death, she is like, she still loves to keep the spirit of Christmas, and she's like, I'm gonna get you something. You gotta tell me what you want. So I was like, you know what, all right, I want Mario Odyssey. So she got me Mario Odyssey, and she got me this, and it's really cool because it helps you locate all the stars, or the moons. I mean, I always say stars, but you know what I mean. Helps you locate the moons, which is really cool. And I referenced it here and there. Again, the art. I love reading through. I'll read strategy guides like it's a book. The art and just learning the lore and things like that. So I find a lot of enjoyment in that. Got Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Sadly, this game sucks. Sorry. If you're into it, you're into it, which is cool, but I can't stand the card-based system. Navigating the cards and breaking the cards, those that like it are probably like, oh, you just don't understand it, blah, blah, blah. Well, I didn't have a good enough time playing it to really want to understand it, so sorry, but I don't understand it, and I will never understand it, because I don't really care. But my girlfriend actually gave me that. It was in her stack of strategy guides that she had as a kid, or as a stack of Game Informers she had as a kid. It's pretty cool. I got Ninja Gaiden 2. Again, really cheap. Is there really a point to having a Ninja Gaiden strategy guide? I have no clue. But for the price, for $3, why not pick it up? Again, it's a game I have, so the way that goes. Here's a really cool one, actually. Metal Gear Solid 4. This one's really cool to me. Again, don't know if it's really like something you'll ever need to reference or use, but it's still really, really cool to have. And I mean, it was in great shape. I don't remember where I got this, but piggybackinteractive.com apparently made this guide, which I'm not sure I have a single other guide made by Piggyback, but you know, maybe I'll be on the lookout and see, but I've never heard of them. Got Onimusha 2. I don't own the first game's strategy guide. I did beat the first game though, so I mean, I guess when I move on to 2 and 3, I'll be able to reference the strategy guides. But again, don't really know if I'm gonna have much use for those, but still gonna look through them. And also got Onimusha 3. So again, it was buy one get one free, so got one of these for free, whichever one. I mean, they're all, I think they're all $4. I think I $3.99 maybe, but yeah. So got Onimusha 2 and 3. I own Onimusha 1, 2, and 3, the game, in the Essentials collection. I don't know if you can see it down here, but it's down here. Check that out, my PS2 collection video. But I don't own Onimusha 4 yet. It's the most expensive one, so until I finish 2 and 3 and have the desire to play 4, I'm kind of letting that one sit on the back burner. Got Donkey Kong Country Returns. I feel like the best thing about this strategy guide is probably going to be locating the secret exits to bonus stages. You know, maybe where all the special things are. You know, because at the end of the day, it's like a collectathon. Get Kong. I guess there's like coins and things like that to collect, like a typical Mario. So, still cool. Got the official Tenchu strategy guide. I thought this was really cool to see. I love Tenchu, and you know, I was like, man, this is really neat. Who would have thought? You know, it's funny how nowadays, if a game, it's so far and few between where a game gets a strategy guide, but back in the PS1, PS2 era and older, you know, pretty much every game had a strategy guide, and they were normally official, which, you know, is pretty cool. And I've also noticed down here, I don't know if this is just such an early print of Brady games, but the logo's down there. It's definitely a different logo, so I'm not sure the time on that. But then I got Tenchu 2, and you can see this goes back to the normal logo at the top of Brady games. I have Tenchu 2. I have not played it yet, but you know, when I do play it, I will have the strategy guide. Woo. All right. We got Blue Dragon, a game that I got. I was really, really hyped to get it. Ryder was with me when I bought it. Akira Toriyama, love him. Love Dragon Quest. Love Dragon Ball. So I was like, you know what? A JRPG, 360 exclusive. That's just a cool idea. I'm gonna give Blue Dragon a try. It's not a bad game, but it's a pretty boring game. Nothing stands out about the game. It's a very just straightforward, generic turn-based RPG, which is what it is. It's, you know, some people might be like, oh, that's perfect, but it's just a little too generic. I think is you know, the problem I had with it, but it is what it is. Now we're getting into pretty much just the rest of its pretty good stuff. We got the Pokedex for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. This thing has seen better days, but let me tell you, I used this like crazy. I loved using this. Again, it's not a walk through the game. Well, actually, it kind of is. Yeah, it kind of is. Actually, kind of looking through it, there's a bit to this book, but I had this ever since I was young, and I used the crap out of it. And I will continue to use it if I ever need to, because me and Ryder recently played through Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Man, I don't even remember, 2018, 2019 Christmas season. And it was a blast. He would come over, we'd just sit on the floor, have the book in the middle of us, and just like, oh, okay, where's this guy at? Where's this Pokemon? Okay, where's this item at? Okay, let me see the book. I need to use the book when you're done with it. Awesome. I love that experience. It is so cool. So I'll never forget that. And man, such good memories. Here's Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne Strategy Guide. It's the size of just a normal book. I actually brought my Adventure of Dai Dragon Quest manga to show. It's just a book. I mean, it's a big book. You know, over 400 pages. It's a big book. But yeah, I mean, it's a full walkthrough. It really is. It does not cut corners. It is for the PS2 release, not for the PS4 remaster. But it is so cool, and it still has the poster in it, which I think is really cool. So, and the bookmarks, which I'm not going to take out. But yeah, super cool, and super happy to have it. I bought it after I'd already beat SMT3, but I was like, man, that was such a cool game. I beat it on the PS4, like I said, and I do have it on PS2, and I want to play it on PS2 eventually. So I was like, yeah, if I play it on PS2, I'm gonna use that, because I definitely missed out on some stuff. You know, I played through it blind. What do you expect? I'm gonna get this out of the way. It's not a strategy guide. I just thought it was really cool. Akira Toriyama Dragon Quest illustrations. This was like $20 on Amazon, and I was like, yeah. I mean, what? I'm gonna buy this all day. It has like a poster thingy, like a wall scroll type thing in it. It just goes through the history of Dragon Quest and all the character designs for each game, all the way up to I think 10, if they even show 10. They show spin-off games, and then the final page is like, and the story continues with Dragon Quest 11. Like, oh, get hyped up. So super cool. I just wanted to showcase this. You can get this on Amazon if you want it. $20 hardcover or whatever it was, $20-30. Super cool if you're a Dragon Quest fan. So I just wanted to show that off. But back to strategy, guys. All right, here's a stack of hardcover ones. Final Fantasy 13 with some gibberish on the back. I got this for really cheap, and I think it's really cool. It's just such a nice, clean, all white with like foil art, and you know, Ryder loves Final Fantasy 13, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play this game eventually, and the strategy guide is sick, so I had to have it. Just had to have it. Got the Sekiro. These are from Future Press, I believe. All these are, yeah. These are the rest. Not the rest, but I'm about to show you a bunch of Future Press ones. So yeah, this is for Sekiro. I got this for $30 on Amazon, like 2 years ago. Yeah, the price went up. So if you want it, I'm sorry. The price, I don't know what happened. I don't know why. But I've noticed Sekiro is like a hard game to come by nowadays, and the strategy guide went from $30 to a lot. So I don't know what happened. I have no clue what happened. Got the Dark Souls Future Press, just a clean, just straight up, you know, Dark Souls. This is for the 360 PS3 version, not for the remaster. Had to have it. I mean, it's such a cool hardcover strategy guide for one of my favorite games of all time. So, no doubt about it, had to have it. Also have Dark Souls 2. Love the cover. I don't like Dark Souls 2, sadly, but it is still, you know, I still wanted it. I still love strategy guides, and while Dark Souls 2 is definitely not a game that I really like, I did not want to have a guide missing in my collection, because then it goes to Dark Souls 3. I don't have Bloodborne. Sorry to spoil. That one is absurd in price. Absolutely absurd. And plus there's a DLC one you can get, and man, it is absurd. But I've never used these guides, so I don't know how good they really are. I just was reading them like a book, like I said, just looking at the artwork and the bosses and stuff, because I've played the games a million times. You know, it's embedded in my brain at this point, but it was still super cool to look through. And I got them all. I think I got all 3 of them for like $80. I mean, I think that was, for me, that was well worth the price, at least personally, with how big of a fan I am. Alright, now we got Dragon Quest IV. This is the DS game version, so, you know, just the cover of the DS game. I'm actually currently using this right now, because I am playing through the game. And I am having an absolute blast playing through this game right now. I'm like 19 hours in, just loving it. So, yeah, using that guide whenever I feel like, and you know, it's helping me out because it is an NES game at heart. You know, this game launched on the NES. There are some crazy little puzzles where it's like, how was I supposed to figure that out? So that guide has come in handy, that's for sure. Those old NES games, man. Then got Dragon Quest VIII. This is the PS2 version, not the 3DS version. Super, super cool. This game is a game that I've played a few hours of, and love what I played of it. Ryder was over, and I was playing it the one time, and he was like, this game looks really good, you know? I was like, yeah, it does. He had only played Dragon Quest XI and finished that, and he thinks it's a masterpiece. I haven't played that one yet, but you know, he was looking at it, he's like, this game looks really good, you know? Like, he's like, man, you know, I think it kind of sparked his desire to want to play it. Not saying he didn't already want to play all the Dragon Quest games, but I think after seeing that, he was like, yeah, this is a good looking game. So I really can't wait to get into that one. But you know, you play. I got bit by the Dragon Quest bug recently, and for some reason I just really wanted to play 4. So I bought 4 and I've been playing it. So it's kind of one of those, like, I play games that I really feel like playing, especially these JRPGs, these long games that you have to really dedicate time to. You really gotta want to play it, because you don't want to drop it halfway through or a few hours in, and I'm guilty of it, and I don't like doing it. So you really want to go in fully ready to play it. Got this Versus Books Resident Evil 2 Perfect Guide. This is clearly an unofficial guide, but every secret's revealed. It's got a walkthrough for every area. It says it's got insanely detailed maps, and it really does. The art's awesome. I hadn't played through the game when I had this guide. Now, I've only beaten Leon A campaign of Resident Evil 2. This is for the PS1 copy, by the way, not for the remake. That was probably obvious. But when I do play the B campaigns and Claire A and B, I will probably use this because I think it's really cool. I'm kind of somebody that some people might despise the way I play games, where they're like, I want to discover it for myself. Let me figure it. Like, let me explore. Let me figure it out. And I love doing that, but I also love getting the most out of a game on my first playthrough. So I also like to know where the hidden things are, and you know, I want to get the most out of it because I don't replay games a lot. So if I'm going to be playing this game, I want to get the most out of the game. Maybe it makes sense to some people, probably makes no sense to other people, but it is what it is. Got Resident Evil 3 Nemesis Toys R Us exclusive cover version. Just like foily, super cool. I got this one's unofficial Prima guide. Still has the poster in there. The only problem is, actually no, I'm sorry. This is the map. I thought a page was ripped out. I forgot that's the map in there. Got a bite taken out of it, but got this for a great deal, thankfully, from my local game store. So Resident Evil 3, my favorite Resident Evil game. This is, of course, for the PS1 GameCube version. It's not for the remake, thank God, because that version sucks. Got Wild Arms, the official strategy guide. This is made by Dimension, I believe. Dimension Publishing. This is a strategy guide that I've been after for a little while now. It's actually a rather thin strategy guide, but that's because the pages are just filled with information. And it also has, I'll just show this here while I open this up. Inside was a Final Fantasy VIII poster. I'm trying to get it in there. And then the back is, sorry. I don't know what this really is. I didn't play Final Fantasy VIII. I don't even know if it still has to do with Final Fantasy VIII. But, looks like cards to me of some sort. But I thought this was really cool that it was in there. I'm a big fan of that. So, Wild Arms. Super happy to have that strategy guide. Got Breath of Fire 3. This is the only game I've showed so far that I don't own, I believe. This is the only game I don't own currently. But I couldn't pass it up because I'm gonna own this game eventually, and the strategy guide is gonna be way harder to locate than the physical copy of the game, at least for in-person collecting. So I was like, you know what? I see it in front of me, great condition, gotta have it, no ifs, ands, or buts. And my final strategy guide is the Legend of Dragoon strategy guide. I believe there's actually a greatest hits copy of this strategy guide that has green on the side or something like that, which is really weird. But this one I keep in a plastic protector because it's, you know, this one is probably the most valuable one I have as far as non-hardcovers. So I definitely try and take really good care of this because it's already in absolutely great condition. Worked out some trades with a friend of mine. So he had it in this plastic wrap and I was like, you know what? I'll honor it. I'll keep it in the plastic wrap. I will use this guide when I play the game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not keeping it like this super sacred, don't open it, don't look at it type thing. It's just, it was in this plastic wrap and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep it in there. But yeah, so that's my strategy guide collection. I'm always trying to build it, of course, but strategy guides aren't as easy to find if you don't order them online. So I've gotten all of these without ordering any of them, other than the Dark Souls ones. I got the Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and Sekiro I ordered, but the rest I found on my own, which I think is pretty cool because, like I said, they're not easy to find. Maybe at your local game store they are, but not mine. Not these better ones. My local game store's got the Call of Duties, the God of Wars, just like the ones that are like, yeah, we've seen all these a million times, but these JRPG ones, not easy to come across, and I think they're really cool. The Resident Evil ones, things like that. So you can find certain ones pretty easy, but not some of them. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.